You do? You start whenever.
All right, check. We are live in Atlanta at the Masquerade, and I'm here with a very special guest. It's your boy, the kid, Alex Cherry, with Novice Principles. But as y'all know, I don't like to talk too much, so I'm just going to let her introduce herself, and then we're going to keep it pushing.
Hi, y'all. What's up? I am Bahja Rodriguez from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm 26 years old. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, ma'am. Bahja, I appreciate you for doing this.
No
How do you feel tonight?
I feel like really good. Like I think sometimes like when I do stuff like this, right before I go on stage, I get like hella nervous. But overall, like I'm doing like really good. I feel good. I feel like everything sounds good. So I'm excited.
That's cool. I know you've been performing for years, and so
Yeah.
like you still get stage fright. You know why is that?
Because anything could happen up there. You know what I'm saying? I pray before every show. You know, so I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. But you know, I still kind of get nervous. I don't know why. I think it's like a natural human emotion. If I didn't get nervous, I would feel like nervous about the fact that I'm not nervous.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And I feel like because, you know, as an artist, as a creative, you know, we take our artistry so seriously because like you're finally introducing yourself to many people and possibly new fans as well. And so, you know, I think that's why that passion is there.
Yeah, of course.
So how's your mental health? You know? And that's a big thing for me. I feel like mental health is a thing, especially as an artist.
Yeah,
you know, that people don't really understand and get to see. So like, how's your mental health moving into the show?
I mean, my mental health is like A1. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in like a really good space, like emotionally and mentally. I'm feeling really good and excited about the future. So it's really good.
That's cool.
Really
and so
good.
it's on the topic of mental health. You know, we talk about like the pandemic and quarantine period.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that, you know, I was watching one of your interviews and you were talking about recording music like through the pandemic and quarantine. So how was that for you in trying to like channel, you know, what was best for you?
Well, during the pandemic, that's when I actually got my setup at home. And for me, like a lot of people with the pandemic, it was like, oh, I couldn't go anywhere. But I thoroughly like enjoyed it because I felt like I was able to really find my sound and figure out who I was as an artist. And it gave me the confidence to know, like, okay, I could be in a room by myself with nobody in there and I could make like a smash. Mm-hmm. So that felt like really good for me. It was like kind of enlightening, I guess, in a way.
I would say, do you prefer recording by yourself or with people like in a room?
It depends on the day. Mm-hmm. It really does. Like some days I would rather be alone, like and record by myself, and then I have like other days where I want to collab, I want to be in there with people, or like I want my friends to come, you know, and stuff like that. So it just kind of depends on how I'm feeling.
Okay, so let's take a step back. You know, Novice Principles, you know, one thing I love preaching on is like the name itself. Yeah. So like, what is one principle that you live by, like a mantra that you kind of like stand by on a day-to-day basis?
Mantra I stand by every day. Also, like getting up and working. Like I've been working professionally since I was like 12 years old, and even before then, I was always like training and practicing and. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like you have to be, like, prepared for your moment, right? Like, I feel like a lot of people, a lot of artists, it's easy for us to get caught up in, like, everybody sleeping on me. Nobody's, like, paying attention to what I'm doing. And I'm the type of person who I just feel like that's just more preparation time. Like, keep your head down, prep, you know what I'm saying? So that when your moment comes, like, you ready to go. You ready to, like, get that shit and you prepared for everything that's going to happen. So I definitely would say, like, hard work. Like, getting up and working and being prepared for your moment, for sure.
So slept on, do you feel like you're being slept on?
No. I think that I have to work harder, you know, and I feel like my work will speak for itself. I feel like I'm in a really good spot right now. I feel like people are really like taking notice to what I'm doing. I got the right people in my corner at this point to really make it go where it needs to go. I don't feel like I'm slept on. I just feel like we gotta just work, you know, continue to work hard and continue to put out good music, and the people will catch up.
So Atlanta, you're from Atlanta, correct?
Yeah.
So being from Atlanta and knowing that like a lot of R&B legends come from the city of Atlanta, like what does being from the city of Atlanta mean to you?
I mean, being from Atlanta, it means a lot to me, number one, but number two, I've been around the industry since I was a child. Like I always would. Like, I was around, like, Social Def growing up and, you know, just all these different video sets. So I've kind of always been in close proximity to the industry ever since I was younger. But, I don't know, Atlanta is just a culture. Like, I feel like we tell the world what's cool. You know, we've been telling the world what's cool for a long time, and I think people kind of like follow our lead. So I feel like it's just important to be great because it's like we got a lot of eyes on us here, and you know, you don't want to put out no bullshit when you're from here because like people gonna talk about it. You know what I mean?
Real.
They gonna know. So it's like you know, you kind of just want to like being from Atlanta. Wait, I'm sorry, we gonna do that.
No worries.
But you know, being from Atlanta though, it really matters to me. You know what I'm saying? I love to like have the city on my back and you know kind of move with that.
So I'm gonna say, so when did you know? I know, especially coming with the OMG girls, when did you know that you wanted to like pursue music?
I ain't gonna lie, I've been knowing I wanted to do music ever since I was like born.
Okay.
I always sang. I remember being in like kindergarten and we was at recess and I had to put on this whole big like show for all my friends. And at the time, I was singing like opera, and I never really like even knew how to. I just would see it on TV, I guess, and like you know, I was singing opera, and my teachers were just like, "Yo, like this girl can sing," and my mom came and picked me up, and they like, "You got to put her in lessons, like she needs to sing." And ever since then, it's kind of crazy. Like imagine a little like 5-year-old like just singing opera. Like it was kind of insane. But
could you see yourself like on the like big stage, like doing one of those like the opera things with the breaking the glass and everything?
You know, I don't know about that. Like I feel like you know when I was younger, it was like cooler. You know what I'm saying? Because I was still trying to figure out my voice. But I think now like I kind of know like where I could go and where I can't go.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of my biggest thing. I think that just was kind of like a catalyst for, you know, what I really wanted to do and where I really wanted to go. So I don't know, like I just think that, you know, I've always wanted to sing and I knew that. I just didn't really know what the plan was or how I was going to get here, but I knew I was going to be singing.
Do you have like, what's like your earliest moment or like the earliest memory that you have of, you know, like music?
Earliest memory I have of music? I don't know. I really want to say like my earliest memories, like being in the car with my mom and just like listening to all of like her old CDs, like with her. Like I would say like my mom really like put me on to like R&B music. Cause see, I really was into music, but I like Britney Spears, and I was just like, oh, I want to be like Britney Spears. I want to be like Britney Spears. This was kind of like when she first came out, and so my mom was like, well, you know, let me show you like these women who look like you who really do this. And so after that, you know, just kind of like being in the car with her, I would pick up on like the Monicas, the Brandies, Kim Price, and you know, like just Mary J. Blige, like all the kind of, you know, like just the legendary Aaliyah, all the R&B singers, Beyonce. I remember her first album came out. My mom had that in the car. So a lot of my music taste has really come from just like, you know, like my mom and just her kind of like pouring that into me, and you know, it just developed over time.
And so do you think like you embody like those women today? You know, I know especially like in your music videos, like, you know, with moving and dancing, you know, but also like with like the vocals and everything, who do you feel like you embody the most?
I ain't gonna lie, I feel like it's a good mix for real. Like I feel like I kind of embody all of the women I listen to, but then I also try to do a really good job of putting my own spin on things because I never want to sound like anybody, but I'm definitely inspired by like the Brandies, Aaliyah, Monica, Beyonce. Her work ethic is like killer. I mean, like I don't know nobody who could sing a Beyonce song how she sings it, but you know, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, like all these women kind of like have inspired me to do what I'm doing now. But yeah, like I think I kind of feel like I don't really sound like anybody else. I think I kind of just sound like myself, and you can hear those influences throughout my music and just with my pen, me writing and all of that.
So you as an emerging artist, an artist who's still coming up individually, you know, what difficulties do you have, especially since your journey is unique, you know, being that you started at a label like Interscope and now that you're fully independent? I think on a solo tip, it was challenging in the beginning because I wasn't quite sure on how to rebuild and where I was gonna go from there. But I just feel like, you know, God is just my provider, and you know, I just entrusted in that, and like God literally provided me with everybody who I would need, and luckily for me, all of these people are like my family. You know, like I don't even consider them like employees or my team. Like I mean, they my team, but this is like my family. Like I call them like my brothers, my sisters, you know what I mean? So it's like
I think that was kind of the most difficult thing, and just not having that machine. But I've created my own machine, you know, like just throughout what I'm doing, and it's been a really rewarding experience. I feel like when you at a label, it's kind of like, you know, they just making shit happen for you, but now I'm able to actually appreciate what's going on around me, because it's like I know how hard we all worked to make that happen.
And it brings that like that genuine familiar feel,
for
so
sure.
that way you can be yourself and
For
be
sure.
most comfortable around the people that you know see on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely.
So for you, R&B. So, you know, I know you've heard the phrase R&B is dead.
Yeah.
You know, so how does that make you feel, especially being in this space?
I don't like it, because I feel like R&B is in such good hands with who we have out. Like, we have like the Summers, we got the Kiana Ladays, we got all these male artists who out, all these awesome like female artists who are out, the Mays and her and all of these like people. And I'm just like, I think that's kind of like a cop out. Like, just say y'all don't listen to R&B and go, like, because the R&B that I listen to, I feel like we in a great place and we only gonna keep elevating. I feel like when you listen to rap right now, it's kind of just all like, we get money, we drive fast cars, we we sleeping with beautiful women, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's kind of what it is. But I feel like with R&B, I've been hearing a lot of songs, SZA, like I've been hearing a lot of songs and albums that just like speak to me. You know what I mean? Like on the R&B tip, and I'm like, this is crazy. So I think R&B in a good place. I don't think R&B is dead at all. I think, in fact, it's very much alive and well, you know, and it's going to continue to evolve even after us and, you know, all the kids who coming up now who are like going to be R&B singers. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be fine.
I agree. So who are you listening to? Like, if you could curate a playlist and say you had to name maybe 3 to 5 artists that you're listening to, like who are you listening to right now?
So, okay, right now, I'm listening to a lot of people. I'm listening to SZA, listening to Summer, I'm listening to Jazzy.
Okay.
I love her new album. I just got on to Destin.
Conrad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love his
Sadie. His EP is really good.
Yeah,
really
I love
good.
his music. I think
really
he's
good.
incredible. Myself, obviously.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just have so many people that I listen to. I mean, I listen to a lot of old R&B too, like stuff I used to listen to when I was younger, Monica Brandy, like all of that stuff. If I just want Aaliyah, if I want to feel nostalgic for a minute, or if I kind of want to get some inspiration, I'll like go back into like my old, you know, music bag, R&B music bag, and kind of like get familiar there. But I mean, I'm listening to a lot. I'm listening to a lot of women. I'm listening to a lot of guys, you know, and I feel like my music taste is pretty good.
Exclusive.
Yeah,
Exclusive.
you know, definitely.
Okay, so a few fun facts. I know I was watching one of your interviews, and you were talking about that if you weren't doing music, that you wanted to be a lawyer. Did you go to school to be a lawyer?
I never went to school to be a lawyer. Just liked it in school because I felt like this is something I'm good at. If I believe what someone is telling me, I'm gonna defend it to the end. So I felt like that would be a good. And then I'm smart. Like, I'm very smart. I've been reading on a 12th grade level since I was like a 5th grader. So I've always just been highly intelligent, and I feel like research, learning things, stuff like that, that was just kind of like always my vibe. So, you know, for me, I just think that like it was just a really, you know, incredible thing. Like, it was an incredible idea in practice, but in theory, in theory, but in practice, I wouldn't have been able to do that for real, because I was out of high school like 10th grade year. So that's kind of what that was giving. Once I was out of high school, it was like music, career, that was my main focus. Like, that was it. Even before I got to high school, I was like working and recording and doing a bunch. So, you know, it just kind of all lined up how it was supposed to. God knew what he was doing.
Nah, I agree. So how do you feel that your ideals or that your mindset has changed from your first stint in music to now, like transition as an individual?
I think I'm more mature. I think when I was younger, you know, I was just a child. So, like, I just was enjoying everything. And I kind of used to feel back then that, like, everything that was happening to me was, like, supposed to happen. And then life happened. And I kind of realized, like, you know, none of this shit is promised to me. You know, like, I got to really work hard. Like, a lot of people don't get the opportunity that I got coming into the industry. You know, a lot of people have to, like, really, you know, I mean, I grinded it out, too, but I mean, I was an OG girl, so I mean, our entry into the industry was totally different from anything else.
But you can tell that you're not, you know, using that as like a...
Yeah, like now, I kind of try to like distance myself from that in a way, because I feel like I don't want nobody to feel like I think, oh, because I was an OMG girl, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and y'all supposed to listen to me. Like I tell my fans all the time, like I really appreciate y'all listening to me and telling me that y'all like my music, because y'all don't have to listen, y'all don't have to tell me that y'all like it, like y'all don't have to engage in that. So now I just feel like I appreciate what's going on around me way more than what I did as a kid. I mean, I think maybe all kids don't really appreciate what's happening. It don't matter if it's like for instance with your parents, like you wake up and you feel like I'm supposed to have nice clothes and food and all of this stuff on the table and lights coming on, but the reality is like none of that is really promised. You know what I mean? So I think now I'm just cool with, just kind of appreciating what's happening around me and just like being grateful for all of it.
Okay. So what is one thing that you like about performing?
Seeing like how my music impacts people for the first time. I love seeing people who never heard of me, like kind of get a feel of like what my music is. I feel like for me the best way to like get to know an artist is to actually like see them live and see what they bring, to the table, of folks like hearing their music or looking at their Instagram. So I kind of like to see how people be like vibing out. Some people will kind of be like looking like, what's this? I like this song. But then you see some people kind of like nod their heads and get into it. I'm like, okay, yeah, this shit hard though. Like at least you know. So it's really cool. I think that's my favorite part. Just kind of seeing how like it impacts everybody in the room. Good or bad.
Okay, so what are you looking forward to tonight?
I'm really just looking forward to. I got a lot of my friends and my family here, and I'm just really like excited that they all here. Like a lot of like my cousin is here, my sister is here. My sister always comes to my show, but my other sister here. You know what I'm saying? She got my nieces here, so it's kind of just like a real family vibe. Yeah, like it's a real family vibe going on here. So I'm just excited that all my people is here, like supporting me and able to see me tonight.
Okay, so you have the You visual out, and then you got All Mine as well that just dropped a few weeks ago. So what's like your biggest goal for 2023?
Just to continue to elevate this shit to the highest power, really. Just to be more mainstream. We dropping a project. I want to drop an album. I know my mentor probably like when is that coming? But I definitely want to like drop a project, drop an album, and really just elevate. Like that's just the goal for this year. It's just to make it bigger than big, make it like the best it's ever been. That's always like the major goal for sure.
Say, do you have like a goal in mind for this year as far as like a measuring stick? Like what would success for 2023 look like for you?
I ain't gonna lie, I want to tour this summer.
Okay.
I want to do like my own like headlining 5-city tour this summer. I ain't gonna lie, we did that. I'm gonna feel like damn, we kind of made it. We could go to 5 different cities and sell that bitch out.
I want to say, where do you want to go?
Well, okay, so New York is like my best city.
Okay.
Like I have so many fans up there who just always come and support me. I want to do New York. I want to do Houston. Of course, Atlanta. Detroit's a good city for me too.
Detroit.
Chicago. I don't know. It's something about up north. They really love me up there. Like I have such a good time every time I go up north. Though. No, it's like New York really is like the toughest crowd. They say in the toughest market. So the fact that I'm able to like go up there and have shows and it be lit, like I'm appreciative because New York they don't play. They'll boo you. For real.
I've never been to New York. So.
Yeah, in New York, if they don't like you, they will boo you. Like they don't. Yeah.
Oh goodness, nah. I can't do that. No, but so for Bahja, for you, what do you want your like legacy when it's all said and done? Like, what do you want to be remembered for?
Damn, that's a deep ass question. I just want to be remembered for being just the best that I could be, like always in everything. Not even just in music, just in life. Period. Just being the best friend, the best daughter, the best artist that I could be, the best. Everything, just the best. Like I want people to just be like, that girl really like strive to be the best she could be for the people that she loved and just for what she loved. So I just say being the best. Okay.
Well, Bahja, last question. For creatives and artists that are looking at you, seeing what you're doing, looking from the outside in, what advice would you give to them for people trying to get started?
To put yourself out there and keep going. We in the age of social media, so it's no way that with TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all these different apps we got, like put yourself out there, somebody gonna see it. Like when the time is right, somebody gonna see it. You're gonna do exactly what you need to do when the time is right, but you gotta start. Like the best thing that you could do is to start. Like don't worry about what you don't have or who has what or when they have it, just start. Like when you start, everything that you need will come to you. Like when I was first starting out as a solo artist, I had no team. Like I wasn't able to work with everybody who I have been working with, and I had to literally rebuild. And it's like, if I just would have been like, oh, I don't have a team, I can't work with the people I used to work with, I never would even, be here. You just gotta start. Like, once you start, it'll all come together and make sense how it's supposed to.
Okay. Well, Bahja, we are very excited to see your show tonight.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Oh, we're looking very forward to it. Very forward to it.
It's gonna be dope.
Okay, so I appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
Novice Principles. Did you have any last words? Talk your shit.
Make sure that y'all follow me on all social media platforms. My name is Bahja Rodriguez. That's on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff. And just keep it locked in for new music. We got that on the way. And make sure y'all streaming all my music, all my singles, and go watch that video.
Of course. Well, Bahja, we appreciate you
Thank
again.
you.
All right, y'all. It is Alex Cherry, the kid from Novice Principles. You better go watch this concert. It's going to be live. Check it out. And we'll see y'all next time. Boom.